You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Macy Eglund. Nearly 100,000 ducks must be euthanized after a bird flu outbreak on Long Island. Virginia Huey has those details.
Crescent Duck Farm, the century-old producer of the iconic Long Island duck, is battling to survive after the bird flu outbreak hit its Aquabog facility. The site is under quarantine as state and federal agricultural workers address the outbreak. The farm's entire flock of about 99,000 birds must be euthanized.
For a company that's been in business since 1908, it's probably one of the more devastating blows that they've had to try to endure.
The farm has been in the Corwin family since the 1600s. Owner Doug Corwin told Newsday it's been gut-wrenching losing his entire flock and being forced to lay off 47 workers.
All revenue income ceased immediately, and he's actually talking now about potentially having to sell land or do other things to keep his business operating.
Experts say avian influenza is a viral infection that spreads primarily among wild birds and poultry. We're told the risk to public health is minimal.
There is no real proven transmission to humans, so the risk for humans is low. Can it happen in theory? Yes, it can. So probably workers working with birds should be monitored, but there is no human-to-human transmission, and that's the most important part of this.
Around 20 Crescent workers remain on site, helping in the effort to sanitize. Corwin told Newsday none have shown signs of illness. They will be tested by the Suffolk County Department of Health this week. Meantime, Corwin is holding out hope that he'll be able to save his business with 10,000 eggs that have been kept under quarantine.
And with a special permit and with testing and special treatment along the way, their hope is that they can keep those eggs, hatch them, and revive this genetic strain of ducks that they've had for over 100 years.
For Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
You can read more about the outbreak on our website, newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Only in Newsday, Rex Heuermann's legal team is asking to get his cases tried separately in court. His attorneys have asked to try charges relating to 3 of the women whose bodies were found at Gilgo Beach separately from the remaining 4 alleged victims. They say there is a disparity between the evidence in the indictments. The Massapequa Park man has pleaded not guilty in the killings of 7 women. You can find the latest on the Gilgo killings investigation on newsday.com. President Donald Trump is now allowing immigration agents to enter houses of worship to arrest illegal immigrants. Agents can now go into churches, synagogues, schools, and hospitals. This among several executive orders Trump signed after his inauguration on Monday. Advocates say there are at least 100,000 illegal immigrants on Long Island. Well, there have been some mixed reactions on Long Island to President Trump's executive order on gender. Sherry Einhorn has that story.
It took me a really long time to be comfortable in my own skin and feel like I knew who I was.
Micah Schneider identifies as non-binary and transgender and says they deliberately did not watch the news on Monday when newly sworn-in President Donald Trump said this.
It will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only 2 genders, male and female.
I made the decision long ago that I'm not going back in the closet. I'm not hiding who I am. And I am now in this unfortunate reality where I have to make decisions about my safety.
LGBTQ advocates describe Trump's signing of the executive order on gender as
it is an attempt to erase an entire community.
David Kilnick says the immediate concerns are numerous, including safety, sports, healthcare, education, and the ability to get state and federal documents like driver's licenses and passports.
And I think that we need to be very diligent in making sure that we're protecting what we have won, that we don't go back, and that we do the work that's going to be needed to move forward.
Now that the executive orders have been signed, how quickly could things really change? Remember, there are expected legal challenges. We checked with a constitutional law professor.
Matters that are exclusively within the control of the federal government will change more quickly than matters that are in the shared control of the federal and state governments. Certainly in states like New York, that have significant state level protections, the process will be more cumbersome.
In the meantime, Micah tells me they will be taking extra precautions when it comes to personal safety and is hoping to reach beyond the sadness and use their strength to fight for what they believe is right.
When push comes to shove, like, I'm always going to stand up and I'm always going to say who I am and what I'm about.
I'm Shari Einhorn for Newsday TV.
You can read more about Trump's first 100 days on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. The Great South Bay is freezing up, putting a pause on Fire Island ferry service. Freight boats are still running with a limited schedule. The National Weather Service says we haven't seen the bay freeze like this since 2018. The ice is expected to thaw in about a week.
I'm Jamie Stewart. 31 years after being drafted by the Jets, Aaron Glenn is now head coach of the Jets. League sources say Glenn has agreed to take the job. Glenn played for the Green and White from 1994 through 2001 and was a three-time Pro Bowl cornerback. He worked as a scout for the Jets, was the defensive coordinator for the Lions the last 3 years, and this will be his first shot as a head coach. Joining me now to talk about the new hire is Newsday's Jets beat writer Al Iannazzone. Al, thanks for joining us. Let's get to it. Glenn has no head coaching experience, just like some of his predecessors, Robert Saleh, Todd Bowles, Rex Ryan. How big of a concern should this be?
I don't know if it should be a concern. I am a little surprised, though, that they are following that route again. Defense, no head coaching experience, things to that nature. But, he comes from a good program. He comes from Detroit that, went through a rebuild, went through a culture change. That's what the Jets need. So if he can bring that type of, atmosphere to the Jets, it might turn out to be a home run hire.
Jets certainly hope so. All right, the Jets offense has ranked 32nd in scoring since 2011, so concerns about actually scoring points under Glenn is valid, which leads me to the quarterback. Al, can you see an Aaron Rodgers marriage?
Yeah, I don't rule out anything with Aaron Rodgers. He wants to play again. Glenn might want to have him as his quarterback. I mean, he coached against him a lot with the Lions and the Saints, so he knows what Aaron Rodgers could do. So this is definitely something that will, come to light in the next week, 2 weeks, however long it plays out.
You talk about coaching. What do you think Glenn's coaching staff will look like? And do you think he needs veterans along the sidelines as opposed to first-time coordinators?
Yeah, I do. It's hard to say because right now everybody who's getting jobs trying to put their staff together. But I do think he needs some veteran guys along there. Now, if you have Aaron Rodgers, that will make things a little easier, but eventually you have to, hand the franchise over to a young quarterback, and you want a good coach there to help develop that player if you want this franchise to succeed going forward.
Will be fascinating for sure. Al Iannazzone, thank you very much. To read more about this story, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box on our homepage.
Only in Newsday, getting in shape with strength training. Here's today's Fitness Fix. When people think exercise, sometimes they think uncomfortable cardio, running on a treadmill with your heart pounding, but it doesn't have to be like that. Pulse Barbell Club in East Northport is all about strength training.
We see a lot of folks that come in that are really just doing exclusively cardio, and we turn them on to strength work, and they tend to see quicker results.
Russ and Charlotte Bostock opened up the place, putting together weekly programming for a full body workout. Everybody works at their own pace with their own weights.
135. This is more than I weigh, but we'll see. Do I have big muscles yet?
I was doing HIIT, I was doing sculpt, I was running, I was doing all of that fun stuff. But until I really learned the proper form and how to deadlift and how to squat, that was really when I saw my body transform.
They also program body weight movements.
Wow. Let's see if I have a third.
I think you got a fourth.
A fourth?
I think you got a fifth.
A fifth?
Oh, man.
I don't think so.
Wow, nice job.
I'm literally shaking. I'm just trying to impress these people. Oh, God.
You rotate through the different exercises with guidance and a little push from the coaches.
Okay, I guess we're on to the next thing. Jeez Louise, this guy.
Next door, you'll also find a yoga studio. Plus, they offer nutrition guidance, one-on-one coaching, and physical therapy.
I always say the heaviest weight is the front door, so really try to get yourself through there. Hopefully you can find a community that's inspiring.
Oh my God. Got it.
I've been having way too much fun with this segment. You can see more Fitness Fix on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. All right, let's talk about your Long Island weather now. Another cold day today, but tomorrow we do warm up a bit. That's the good news. Mostly cloudy, highs maybe touching in the 30s in some places, but just barely. As we stretch out to see your 7-day, we do have some warmer weather on the way with some sunshine.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Macy Eglund. Thanks for joining us. Hope you have a great night.